The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
Welcome back, and what we want to do for a few moments is really describe and walk through what our process looks like. You've probably been watching our show for quite some time and maybe have yet take that leap of faith to come into our office and sit down. And a lot of times we understand that 73% of individuals almost retired or in retirement have yet to do just that, sit down with an advisor of any kind. So let's just kind of walk through A to Z of what our process looks like. I've always said, well-defined expectations are the roadmap to a prosperous relationship. So what you'll see is we're going to spend a lot of time on step number one, because I really believe firmly that if step number one, the discovery, is done very well, that I think what we'll establish, if you will, is a trust factor. After all, that's exactly what this is, right? So step number one, it says discovery, but basically what that means is it's our interview process. You know, the fact is, I'm sure you wouldn't work with everybody. It's the same with us. We're very particular about the clients that we work with. We work on what's called a value proposition. If we can't add value to your life, we simply can't do business outside of dollars and cents, okay? So some of those things, what we really look at is goals, right? What is the purpose of our meeting? What is the purpose of doing business together? What is the purpose of your retirement? Our firm is purpose-based. What are the goals? What are we trying to achieve? We're full service. So not just taxes or estate planning or wealth management. We want to understand how we can work together and add value to your life. That's going to take questions. That's going to take getting things off your chest. That's going to take honesty from both parties. You're going to ask us questions. We're going to ask you questions. That's simply the way it has to be, right? Once we get past the trust factor, if you will, or the discovery, we're going to gather data. If step number one is done well, right, well enough, then you're going to feel more comfortable about releasing some of your personal private information to us. When we gather that data, what we're looking to do is we're looking to evaluate it. When you're working with us, you're working with a team. Okay, one thing to understand, and this is clear, is that when we take on a client, we look at these clients as projects, because we within our firm, we have to make sure that all undivided attention is built really servicing you right there. That's going to go into that evaluation process. Once we do a really good job of evaluating that data, understanding where the value truly is, then we can move on to step number 4. When there's a recommendation given, you're going to understand exactly where we are in our recommendation process. That could be, you know, from a mile per hour perspective in terms of risk tolerance. You think that you're driving 45 miles an hour, but your portfolio is really driving 75. Or it could be that, you know, you simply want to slow down your risk tolerance to better focus on income producing when it comes to the overall retirement plan. We could be focusing on estate planning as opposed to tax efficiencies. We could be looking at Roth conversions as opposed to estate planning or wealth preservation. It really doesn't matter, but if there's an area of focus, that's where we're going to go in that recommendation process, if you would. Once we recommend, it's strictly up to you, step number 5, if you would, to implement. When we implement a plan, again, everything is going to be organized. Everything is going to be right there in a very clean, concise order. When you understand what that implementation process looks like, what's very important to understand is as soon as we implement, when we have this plan, if you will, a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, we're right here. Step number 6 is that review process. When we do a review, it's important to understand what that looks like and the frequency in which that happens. A lot of times our clients, when we first implement a plan, it's quarterly. I mean, we've got clients that we've had for many, many years, and they're quarterly clients, right? They don't miss a quarterly visit because they feel comfortable with that. As a matter of fact, they do that because they understand, not just based on the economy, but their life is changing. Right? They're spending more time with their grandkids. They're traveling abroad. They're doing more things. They're checking off the list of the bucket list, the checking off things on that bucket list. But more than anything, they want a sense of security, and they want to make sure what they're doing is the right thing. They want to make sure that we still understand what the end game is, and that there's still that wealth to leave to the legacy or the next generation, if that is something that's of importance to them. So I hope that this has been more than anything, the takeaway would be, I hope that this has been simple, because again, well-established expectations in the very beginning is the roadmap to a prosperous relationship. And that is the fundamental values of our firm. That's you. Okay, so I hope this has been very helpful. We look forward to your call. Don't hesitate. Take action in your retirement. Call today. Stay tuned. The best is yet to come.
The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
There's some things in life we can always get back. Money, that's one of them. But time, that can never be replaced. Your kids, grandkids, they don't care how big your house is or the type of car you drive. The time they spend with you, that's what matters most. Allow us to help take your financial concerns away so you can enjoy the more important things in life. Call us today at 317-903-9157. Schedule a no-obligation visit and rejoice in your retirement.
I'm Alexander Joyce, President, CEO of ReJoyce Financial. Getting the education you need for a successful retirement is key. That's why I've written my second book, ReJoyce in Your Retirement, Everything You Need to Know to Get Everything You Want. The book covers topics like identifying the income gaps, new ideas for investing, taxes and retirement, your legacy beyond dollars and cents, and much more. I've written this in an easy-to-understand format so that just about anyone can get the most out of it. To get a copy of ReJoyce in Your Retirement, Everything You Need to Know to Get Everything You Want, you can go to Amazon. But if you're one of the first callers, you can get a complimentary signed copy of this book just by scheduling a no-cost, no-obligation visit. This book is packed with information that will help you get the most out of your retirement years. If you want to know more about successful retirement strategies, then call now. Education is key. And let us help you rejoice in your retirement.